If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option. As Sori says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at insori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is a community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go on the village, facebook.com/VillageXchange. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed, and Charles shall lead them.
To buy our merch.
Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener.
Unfortunately, Dwayne is old. He said he's going to bed.
Great stream, Wacky Tour. I wish I could stay up for the rest, but I'm old. Good night, streamers.
Good night.
And that's what we say. You know, we talked a little bit about, and this is no disrespect because, you know, everybody's got their path in life. But when we started this 5 years ago, there were a lot more people doing this. There are a lot more channels doing this. And, you know, a lot of people have dropped off since then. And there's a lot of challenges in YouTube and things of that nature. And one of the things I'll say as to stick-to-itiveness is, one is having a good partner is the ultimate, really is the ultimate thing. Like, again, I'm not,
we both had each other.
I'm not sneak dissing anybody. But the other one really, at the end of the day is your community. If we were just doing this with because, you know, there's one business model with 99% of YouTube is you make money on AdSense. I don't have a personal relationship with AdSense. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you get hit with, you know, we don't almost make zero money on ads because, you know, we play the song all the way through and stuff like that.
The YouTube battlefield is
YouTube
littered
battlefield is,
with the bodies of the blood.
I mean, sometimes, it's, I've seen, you wouldn't believe it. Like, I don't know. Like, I want to write a book. I don't know. I don't know. But it's the point is, I think our secret sauce has always been a strong community. You know, we never cared about, I never cared about numbers. I never cared about that. But I always did care about, like, deep, lasting relationships with people. And we were able to strike a good balance, and we've got a great community, and that's the reason we're still here, and that's why we're not stopping. We're about to launch another season of this. We're about to add more things. We've got one little housekeeping thing to take care of, and then after we take care of that, we're going to be opening up another season and opening up more ways for us all to kind of be together.
We've got some fun stuff coming down the pike. I think things are gonna. There might be less structure, but more fun.
Yeah, I think fun is going to be the big emphasis in next season.
Yes, we've got some ideas. I'm talking to Negative about some things which we talked about. But anyway, it's been interesting. When we first started this, I was like, I want the numbers. The numbers were like the big thing for me. And then you had different ideas of ways that we were going to do it. I didn't think it was going to work. I was whatever, but brilliant. And I didn't actually know that you could like make a community in the way that we've made it, like where people care about you and you care about other people. I don't think that could be possible on. I mean,
I didn't see this, like people that, there's not a day that goes by that I don't talk to somebody
a
from
day that goes by, an hour.
from the community. And so like and we talk about you guys like off camera a lot, 3 or 4 in the morning at times. So it's really a life. It's a way of, you guys are a way of life. So anyway, it's a long way of saying thank you guys. It's our last song. So anyway, thank you guys for being in our community. And we have no plans to stop them as long as you guys are still interested. All right,
and shout out to the Wackator for this stream. I mean, he's been with us for a long time.
Yes. Is Blake still at it? Which Blake?
Remember he had green for his reacting colors. Blake.
Was he?
You always would announce it.
Was he when
something reaction?
Oh, nuclear reactions. Yeah.
Thank you,
of course. Nuclear reactions. Yeah, best reaction channel on the internet for sure.
So he's asking if they're still there.
Yeah, of course they're still out there. It's still out there wrecking shop for sure. Okay, guys, here we go. Last song of the night. Dream Theater. We're gonna be happy. We're not gonna be upset. Talk to the people.
And what's the name of this song?
Last one up.
What was the name of this one? I didn't actually catch
I'm not sure. Hold on.
Yeah. I have 2 more streams ready, says Ben, to go once funding becomes available. Sweet. You know, Ben, if you want to schedule those streams, you can still do, like, if you know when your paycheck or whatever is going to come and you want to schedule it for like right after that, you can do that in advance. I'll let you take out days further down, even if something comes up and you end up canceling, and don't worry too much about it. It's you. So yeah, we got no issue with that.
Okay, here we go, guys. The main event, Ray Phoenix says. Only a matter of time. Only a matter of time. The band is Dream Theater. The DJ is the Wacky Tour. You know what it is, dear listener. Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. Keep talking.
Okay, so I'm going to come back and talk. Yes, I'm being a good capitalist, Ben. Yeah, it is a great title. Let's do a random Ask Me Anything while we're getting this last song up. Don't worry, guys. We still have plenty.
very like Iron Maiden. Feels like Iron Maiden. Drumming is crazy. Very rushy. This is Rush, right? Had some coffee, dear listener.
Wow.
Yo. They ended the record like that, dude. They ended the record like that. Yo.
That was a good way to end it.
Yo, that was crazy.
Yep, that was a good way to end it. There was a lot of action there.
Okay. Okay. So I had, going into this day, I had Dream Theater at a 3.4 as a band. Okay?
Okay. And where are we at now?
This record.
Temperature check.
This record.
This is their first one.
Gets Dream Theater from a 3.4 to a 6.7.
Wow.
Not gonna lie and say they're in my top tier. But
they almost doubled their score.
Huh?
You said a
it
3
was
point
3.4
something, and now
to
it's like a 6 point something.
Yeah,
They
6.8 would have been double, but no, we're gonna keep it at 6.7. Yeah, like the entire record.
That's pretty crazy. Now, what do you think was it for you? What do you think changed it?
Well, first of all, a couple things is I actually think that the studio pressure to make it more palatable benefited me for this record. There were a couple 3 or 4 minute, 5 minute songs. This song was like a 7 or 9 minute song that like was a perfect length. Mm-hmm. It was like perfect, like literally the song we're about to review was like probably the most perfectly timed song I've ever heard in my life. Like perfect. But like as a whole, I think the accessibility of this record to the popular audience worked for me.
I agree.
After having to trudge through so many like 11-minute Dream Theater songs that to me just were just should have just been two separate instrumentals instead of one long song. After trudging through so many of those, like to hear a record like this where like the first couple songs were like 4 or 5 minute songs, like it was just more accessible to me. And so then it was weird. It's almost like strategically placed because there was like some of the longer songs were like in the bottom third of the album, but by that time, like I had like found myself like, all right, give me more, give me more, give me more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And because we were not listening to like a mismatch, like whoever put the song titles together, like it seemed to me that they did that on purpose because they were like trying to compromise with the band. But like some of the longer songs were like toward the lower middle third of the record, which I just thought was brilliant because, like I said, it just made you want more. So like the entire record to me, like by the time we got into like that last 25%, I'm like, all right, like I want like a decent good chunk of Dream Theater now. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted that 11-minute song or whatever. We only got to like 10 minutes. There's one song's like 10 and a half minutes long, I think. So that was a weird effect.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It really weirded me out. That's one of the reasons like I'm not going like higher than 6.7 because I'm like, okay, this is where I feel objective. Like there's probably like 2 or 3 more points, but those are just emotional. You see what I'm saying? And I don't want to get caught up in the moment, so I'm
okay. All right.
Go ahead.
I don't remember where I was gonna go. Anyway, it'll come back to me when the time is right.
Yeah. So so that's a very interesting thing to me about.
I was gonna say it's interesting because time doesn't really exist. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when we're talking about a song was too long or too short, what we're actually saying is I couldn't vibe with this song to the point where I lost track of time, right?
Right.
I felt I just couldn't get into it. So yeah, I think that Dream Theater songs for me have kind of been maybe feeling a little bit more like that. Maybe it feels like it's a little harder to get into them. I'm not sure. But definitely listening to this album kind of gave me this I sometimes I feel like I'm trying to defend prog, and I'm not even like a prog person.
I know,
but I know that you have like this like feelings about
disdain
prog.
that genre.
Yeah, so
that's another reason I'm like blown away that Wackator would even
do this
stream.
Yeah, that's true.
But that to me
He's like,
is
I don't
like
care if you give me a low score, whatever.
pure. That's what I'm saying. Like it's pure.
This is
like
my thing.
This is what I want.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like it's pure. Like. So shout out to all the prog heads who keep doing this. But yeah,
I always think every time somebody buys an album like this, I always think the band doesn't know what a giant supporter this person is of them.
Yeah.
Because the Wackator, you believe in their work so much that you're willing to put a stream out for them. And like, yes, this is for you and it's for you to enjoy it and stuff, but at the same time, it also promotes their band. So you just promoted this band by however many people are going to watch any of these videos. Thousands of times you promoted them. I just think that that's like, if the band is like thinking in 2023, they would, that's a giant advertisement for them. So I think
I'm sure the band themselves would like
recognize
be blown away.
Yeah.
By
that somebody would even do that.
I don't think they would ever believe that they would have a fan core that would even do that.
Somebody would
like that's a big thing that people don't know about the bands that they admire so much. Like a lot of these guys really don't know like how important they are to their people. Like it would blow them away. Like, I try to explain sometimes. He's like, all right, so explain this to me again.
Really?
Like, he still doesn't get it. You know? So
wow.
Yeah, that's the other thing about Dream Theater fans is that I definitely see now why they have so many dug-in loyal fans. It's because if you're a metalhead, if you like chug-a-lug like gangster shit, you can get into this band. Like I didn't know this until tonight.
Oh, interesting.
But they're a heavy band. Like if you want to, like if you're that type of guy, you can do that. If you're super technical, you can listen to Petrucci. It's interesting because of all the like different kind of people like under this guy's tree. You know what I'm saying? That like gent is an entirely separate subgenre in metal, and like those guys are disciples of this guy. But then you also have like massive prog technicians like Animals as Leaders that are also, and those are like completely separate kinds of genres. One is like you're literally playing like an 8-string guitar so you can get lower than Korn, and you're just chug chug like, and it's crazy. Like, look what he's inspired. Like that.
Yeah.
That is like true greatness. I think Dime to me is like the most expressive guitarist in the world ever. Like to me, his playing and his attitude, like Dime was like another lyricist in that band. Like his guitar playing was lyrics to me. To me, like Head from Korn is like I love dude, like literally love him. Dime, I think, is the greatest of all time. Like, period. Jimi Hendrix, Page, all of them. Like, for me, it's Dime. But this Petrucci guy, he's a different type of dude, man. Like, he's like, I'm not going to say Tony Iommi, but like the kind of guy that creates a bunch of different subgenres because of people who are like following him.
That has to give
crazy.
you some, because if you're able to
It's
inspire
crazy.
that much other stuff, I mean, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. And apparently there's a discussion. So Tosin is the dude from Animals as Leaders. I don't know who the Devon guy is. That's probably the guy from Polyphia. And they're all sitting with Petrucci. So like they're like vastly different kinds of guitars, but this is the
They're all
guy.
in there. Yeah.
You know, it's an incredible accomplishment. But to also, if you like good lyrics and you like good vocals, at least with this guy, like there's something for everybody if you're serious. Like if you're a next level vocalist, you can listen to this band. If you're a next level bassist, you could listen to this band. If you're a technician, you can listen to this band. If you like chug-a-lug heavy shit, you can listen to this band. If you like Yes and Rush and weird shit, you can listen to this band. And like it gets to the point where it's like all of those people that I just mentioned have to get satisfied, hence a 13-minute song, which I don't like. To me, it's like some people got left out.
Yeah.
We'll catch you on song 3. Like, I like that version of Dream Theater better than, okay, everybody's
getting satisfied in one song.
And you get a song. The Oprah Dream Theater I don't like.
Yeah.
But
I see that.
this one I really, really, really like. I really enjoy this record. And it's crazy to me that they didn't have the backing, the support, the production, the money. And look how crazy good this sounded.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy to me. Like, I hope Dream Theater, hear me. Do a version 2 of this record in 2023. Make a new generation of people like your band.
Apparently, they're coming out with another album soon.
Yeah. I'm sure these guys listen to us.
Right here. Nope. Right there. They're working on an album.
I was just like so loud. I woke up the baby.
Excellent.
But what do you think of the record? Like, what did you think of the?
No, I agree with you. I think that it, like I said, sometimes I feel like I'm defending prog. I don't even know if I have like an authentic reaction to begin with, because I'm like, well, don't hate it so much. There might be something here.
Right.
Because I like stuff that's a little bit like off, But this album for me was it. Anytime that I'm able to listen to a bunch of songs back to back, it gives me a deeper understanding. Even though, like, maybe in our history of Vin and Sori, we've already listened to 8 Dream Theater songs. I don't really know how many we've listened to, but being able to hear them back to back to back gives you, like, it's like sitting down and talking to somebody for a couple of hours versus just hearing them say different random things here and there. Like, I feel like you get to actually get to know the band a little bit through listening to an entire album like that. So for me, I was able to see, you know, his writing, the lyrics that he used, the conversations that we had during tonight's stream, during tonight's complete live stream was pretty interesting. I also think that like there are some parts where I feel too that it's like just I don't like the feeling of like you took a bunch of random things that you came up with and threw them in, and then just like remember we used to play that game when you're kids where there's all these random words and then you line them up to be. That's what prog feels like sometimes to me, and I don't like it when it feels like that. I don't want to feel like that we're like so there was these Cheez-Its that like they're like burnt ones. They're like toasties, I think that they call them. Vinny's like, you realize what happened? He's like, the Cheez-It company friggin' burned their stuff, and now they're selling all that stuff as toasties to us, so that way they can. Yeah, so they limited time. Yeah, they're not gonna bring toasties back. So to me, like sometimes it's like kind of one of those situations where it's like you just lined all those papers up to create one song because you didn't want to let those things go. But I don't like that. I do like it when it can be a little bit off, but there's still enough there where you can sink your teeth into it. It got heavy at some points. It was also kind of spacey at some points. Like it kind of felt like that we were like friggin' up in the stars at some points.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting because there was like just the gap between some of the different sounds. And then like the kind of self-aware discussions that we were having, sort of that like the facing of denial and stuff like that, I thought was really good. Overall, I enjoyed the album. I was pleasantly surprised with how many of the songs, because when the first song started, I was like, oh, that's right. Because you kind of have to like, I kind of have to figure out who Dream Theater is again when I first listen to start the song. And then I'm like, oh yeah. And then when it started up, I was like, I don't think I'm going to like very many of these songs. And the first song that I listened to, I gave it a pretty, a lower score. But then it just kind of kept picking up. Like I think because we talked about expectations at the very beginning of the stream. And I think that was kind of like what I did is I kind of like got rid of my expectations for what I wanted it to be or what I thought it was going to sound like and how I felt the prog was going to make me feel. And I just said, let me just experience this album. And I enjoyed the experience because I was able to kind of get into some of the songs and I don't know, vibe with it. So
that's really interesting what you said about the expectations thing, because when he had told me, I think it was the third song, the one where they did Majesty backwards.
Yeah.
I think it was the instrumental, I think. And he had told me right before we hit play, it's an instrumental. And it just like put me in a kind of space. It made an
adjustment for me too.
I made this adjustment and I I feel like I would have enjoyed that less waiting for the lyrics. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
But then I knew it was an instrumental and it was like, okay, I'm going for an instrumental. And it was great. I loved it. But yeah, that was really, really cool.
Yeah, so overall, I also got like I don't really know how I would have scored at Dream Theater before, but I definitely know that I have a deeper understanding of them now. And I definitely feel like I'm vibing with their first album. It's interesting because they really changed, I think, as time went on. Like you said, they lengthened their songs and different stuff. And I wonder what influenced those decisions to be like.
I really think it's what I said. Like everybody's got to get a run.
You could be right.
Per song.
You could be right.
Instead of just saying, okay, you'll get your run in the next song.
Yeah.
You'll get yours in the next song. Which is what, it's the ultimate irony of this record is that there's a lot of complaining about the record label, but it seems to me that the record label did the right thing. Like the record label's instinct.
I know. I hate
them in a situation.
I hate doing that.
Where now you have the power to do a whole record of 13-minute songs anytime you want, Mr. Petrucci. Mm-hmm. But it seems to me that record label knew what the hell it was doing.
Yep.
Even in the sequencing of the songs, it was just perfect for this band.
Yeah.
So like the irony is, it's the same thing with Freak on a Leash. Freak on a Leash is Jonathan complaining about the record industry. Mm-hmm. And going after them and about how they're, putting him on a leash. He's a freak on a leash.
They also put you on the map.
That was their biggest song. That song was bigger than Got the Life. I'm serious. It was bigger than Got the Life.
I wonder if the record labels are like, write a song about how pissed off you are with us. Those
no, it's just ironic. It's just really, really crazy. Yeah. Also, you guys have evolved musically. The way you feel about a band, for example, Opeth, may not be the way you feel about the band now, 1,000 songs later. No, I still hate that band. Like 1,000 songs, 2,000 songs later. It's probably been 3,000 songs later since I listened to since I had the misfortune of hearing my first Opeth song. Shout out to Opeth. No disrespect to them as a band. Oh, see, look, here it is. What a curse! What a cursed person Kellendross is. I bring them up whenever I can to poke Vin. See, if I would have seen that, I wouldn't have just said what I said above, because now he's slapping his knee and shit, going, "Oh, I got him! I trolled him." Next time I'll know.
Yep, you'll know next
I'm gonna. Yeah, there's certain people like I read in bunches. I never read one by one.
Yep.
You're now on the list, you son of a bitch. What do you rate this album? Okay, so there Wacky Tour. There are 15 Opeth records. Where do you put this? Because everybody's saying, everybody, you're such a liar. God's not gonna like it. Everybody's saying that this is like like an underrated record, but there's 15 records. So where would you put this? Is it in the top 5? Is it in the top 10?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it in the bottom third? I want to know. Top 5, top 10, or bottom third? Because top 10 in a 15 record.
Bottom third is bottom 5.
Basically means average.
Mm-hmm. What basically means average?
Top 10.
Oh, really?
Well, if there's 15, you know what I'm saying? So if you make it to the top 10, that essentially means you're average. Look at this bum. Ben Bear laughing at me. I say Opeth. Yeah, yeah, he's talking about Chris. Razor, please stop that. And take that out of my mouth.
Oh, to help us.
God, what a weirdo. I'm waiting. I want to see what Wacky Tour says.
Poke your face in here.
Wacky,
Say hi to
look
the
at
people.
that. Wacky Tour, we put it at 6.
Go over here.
So at 6. So
Oh,
that would make it the top. So that was slightly above average, getting to number 6.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, get out of here. Oh, okay, well, that's pretty high. This, knowing me, this is probably going to be my favorite Dream Theater record. Knowing me,
yeah, I think for me as well. But
I also think if you're going to introduce somebody to Dream Theater, this would be the album to do it. But what do I know? This is the only Dream Theater album I know of. Get out of here.
I mean, you're not like, you've said a million times, you're not a prog person, so I
True.
can see why you would say this album and not.
True.
But I don't know. Maybe we listen to some other ones and we figure out that, you know, maybe they really nailed it on some of those long songs. Like, maybe they lean toward the direction of the stuff that we like. So when
this is a solid 9.5 as an album.
Oh wow, a
I think
9.5 is a whole album.
The whole album. I don't think I put anything below 9.4.
Wow. Okay. Whole album. 9.1.
All right, there you are, dear listener. Shout out to the Wacky Tour for a very, very risky pick. Thank you, Dethroner, for commenting on the lighting. I was a little bit like, I wonder what people think. Falling into Infinity or Affinity is another underrated album by Dream Theater. Yeah, shout out to the Wacky Tour for making a risky pick, man. Shout out to him for a risky pick. And shout out to him for changing my mind. Anybody, Kellendross knows, I'm a difficult person to change their mind. I will change my mind if I'm convinced. I'm just not going to lie and say you changed my mind when you did. But that, shout out to you for that. The Clippers lost again. Oh my God, too bad. Shout out to James Harden, Mister. I'm not part of the system. I am the system.
Oh my
22 for Wacky Tour for sure.
Yep.
Shout out to Wacky Tour. Really, really, really good selection, bro. I really, really appreciate it. And
Yeah, you
I'm
challenged
gonna,
us.
yeah, it was a very, yeah. I think that's what I liked.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I had done this, Vin would have dragged me for like an hour, so I'm glad it was wacky. I would have for sure. If it was Calendras.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, I like Wakator. I don't know why I like him so much, but I really like Wakator a lot. I like Killandras too, but it's like a frenemy type.
Well, there you have it.
Sympathy X for the next stream. Maybe. Shout out to all you beautiful people. Love your neighbor. Take care of each other. Stay safe.
Oh yeah, you guys. Anybody can give thumbs up or thumbs down if that's what you prefer. Can you guys do that? Because apparently at the end of the stream, that's the better place to do it. So, it makes sense, you know. Should we really believe a rating if they say that if they rate the food a 10, but that was before they got their food?
Right.
Would you be like, or you want them to rate it after they've tried it?
Right.
Yelp reviews must come after you've tasted the food.
Live at Budokan. I don't know who's live at the Budokan, but shout out to the Wacky Tour. Really, really good stuff. We got some good stuff coming down the pipe for you beautiful people.
Bye guys. Have a good night.
Out of here. Vin out.
Sori out.
Gone.